whatever you need, whatever you need. I am just so excited that you are here today with me because you know what? You could be anywhere in the globe, but you are on with me. So again, I want to say not only welcome to what I want to talk about today, and the topic really is, and I said it in the notes. There is still enough time to change and or pivot. Okay? There is still enough time to change and or pivot in 2022. And you might be saying, are you sure? Are you sure? And I'm saying, yes, I'm absolutely sure. And the reason why I'm so certain of that is because even though we're somewhat mid-October, and if you're like me, you start to thinking and wondering, well, what else could happen right now? All I want to do is just get things done. And I know that I have so much to get done. And so it probably bothers you a little bit, right? That you just don't have everything done. You started out with good intentions. You started out with the best intentions. You started networking more. So you should have more clients by now. You should have more people who want to engage with you. All of the above. And then you say, well, why not? Why isn't this happening? It's fourth quarter. And if you look at things from the perspective with the fourth quarter and we're saying, wait a minute, are we talking football? Are we talking sports or any other sports that may have a fourth quarter, if not beyond? We know baseball has so many innings and all of that. A lot of time. But when you're talking football, you know there are going to be 4 quarters, right? So what do you do with that? You actually have to take whatever you have to the next level. You cannot forget about what you need to get done. How could you? When you woke up this morning, did you say to yourself, well, I have this, that, and the other to get done? Did you just say it just like that? Or did you actually have a plan? And if there's one thing I know, when it comes to the fourth quarter, you have to start relying heavily on the plan, meaning the plan that you had put in place starting January 1, right, of this year. So the title, like I said, there is still enough time. And I'm going to read this right off of my LinkedIn. There is still enough time, and I put time in capital letters for a reason, to change and or pivot in 2021. Why is that important? Well, if you think about it, you don't have a whole lot of time left. If you think about it negatively, you don't have a lot of time left. But when it comes to your business, your career path, your career journey, educational journey for that matter, some of you may be enrolled or anticipating enrolling, maybe waiting until January 1. But for those of you who said, I'm taking this course, or I have a course, I still haven't finished, you extended it for so many times. Some of you may have lost money, dollars and cents, because you said, I'm just not going to take this course, but you already paid money that you can't get back, or at least a portion of it. Has that happened to you? Make sure you put that in the comment. And when you think about fourth quarter and you're thinking about sports, do you anticipate the game going your way? Do you wait until the fourth quarter to actually anticipate the game going your way? Now, you don't have to answer that, theoretically. But when you think about it in the football, right, you say, well, I know this is my team. My team will win. or they're not doing so well, 1, 2, and 3, third quarter, and you say, uh-oh, they need to pivot. They need to change direction, and they need to do it quickly. A lot more rapidly than they have already. And then you start to, you're yelling at the TV or something, or however you're watching the program, the sports event. And just like today, when I talk about time, and I capitalize that, time, T-I-M-E, it really doesn't wait for anyone. And so with that you already know, then why not take advantage and be prepared? I mean, today's topic really is about pivoting. Like I said, the title says there is still enough time to change and or pivot in 2022. And I have an exclamation at the end of that. And that was purposely done because I want you to get it in gear, whatever it is, get it in gear and do what you have to do. Stop waiting on others to help you out. If you don't know something, Google it, YouTube it, whatever, the how-tos. And start just by doing. That's what I did. That's exactly what I did on this live event. Audio. And of course, I'm primarily used to going, more video, etc. But to my LinkedIn users and who may see this or come in a little bit late on the broadcast, I applaud you for just showing up. I applaud you for taking time out of your busy schedules. And again, that could be career schedules, educational schedules, whatever, family schedules, things that are super important. And maybe this live audio event wasn't even on your radar and you showed up anyway. I thank you, both national and international listeners. So, what else is going on? Well, again, the details, fourth quarter. You may feel unorganized. Let's just tap into that for a bit. I'm going to give you the items, and then, if you want or you have a question, please feel free to raise your hand and ask. Some of you may have asked, well, how do I get organized? I'm just not organized, and it's fourth quarter, and it's my fault. Well, what would I say to that? I would say it's never too late. It's never too late to get going or to get organized. Start with the smallest task that you have, whether it's on your desktop, whatever it is. Start with that. Perhaps your home office is just a bit messy or messier than you'd like. I've been there. I've done that. And I said, I'll do that later. But if you're in the fourth quarter, right? Just if you're in the fourth quarter of something, and right now we're just talking about from a calendar perspective, and you're trying to organize and become more organized. Well, you need to use your calendar. Use your calendar and say, today I want to schedule, and this is true, schedule the 5 to 10 minutes of organizing your office. You may not get it all done in one day. No one is saying that. If you want to put pressure on yourself, feel free to do so. But the reality is, you have to get it in gear. There's no other way. No other way. And when you do that, you will feel better about what is coming up next in 2023. Some of us may have engagements, speaking engagements, or coaching scheduled events on their calendars. For my coaches out there, my speakers out there, authors, you're doing your book tours, you prepared for that. Because if you didn't, what really would happen? What would be the worst that could happen? It's fourth quarter, but you plan to get out there on your book tour. You've been planning that for 6 months. Most don't just plan within a couple of days, but from time to time as professionals, and we feel we can pick up that ball and keep it running and do something almost seamlessly. Nothing wrong with the task, nothing wrong with how you handled the task, or what we call in the business, you recovered. You know how when you're not feeling well, but you're recovering, right? You're trying to get better, and you just do it, even when you don't feel well. It's kind of like you just show up. And so you want it with, I want to take this back again, for your organized, to get more organized in the fourth quarter. There's still time, but time waits for no one. So that means as of today, when you get off of this broadcast, or as you're sharing the broadcast, just go ahead and start jotting things down. Get them on your calendar and execute the plan. When you execute the plan, you will feel much better about yourself, capital YOU. I say it all the time. Just go back, check out my YouTube channel, check out my website, TJV Empowers You, u.com. You'll see videos between YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. And I always talk about this from a career development standpoint, from an entrepreneur standpoint, from a coaching standpoint. It all does start and end with capital YOU. So why not hold yourself accountable for your time in the fourth quarter? There's still time for you to get things together, but organizing things has to start first. So that was the first thing I wanted to bring up, was being organized and how to get there. So start with the small things in your office. If I'm just using that as an example, start with the smaller things, items in your office that you're saying they're cluttering your desktop, right? If they're cluttering your desktop, then they don't belong there. And by the way, clutter in general is not a good thing. And now some people may call it organized chaos. That's not what I'm talking about today. But I do have a YouTube video on that as well. Just look me up, Toye Johnson-VINCENT, your no sugarcoating coach. I'm out there. And I don't sugarcoat about being organized, because it took me a very long time, personally and professionally, to get organized. I'm getting better at it every day. And that's because I am intentionally aware. Mindset, I'm intentionally aware. And you too have to be aware that time does not wait for anyone. And you need to use your time wisely. And don't let others take up your time unnecessarily, especially as you move to end the fourth quarter on a good note. So that was my first tip for there's still time enough for you to pivot. And pivot meaning turn it around. The central point, when we talk about pivot, even if you looked it up in the dictionary, anywhere, Google it. And you'll find that they'll say about the central point or the pin, like if it's mechanical and it's something that's the mechanics of something, that at that point, central point is where something turns around or reverses or go in all different ways. Almost circular, but again, to pivot, go back, turn it around. Make something move in different directions. And the direction that you want to make your career, your entrepreneurship journey, it's 2022, but you have a few months and you'll be in 2023. And you don't want to look back and say, I didn't even take time to prepare for my success to elevate. And why not? So it's not all about the clock. Although the time as we know it from a clock, minutes, hours, days, months, years, it's something that we don't control, but you do have control over preparedness. And the biggest thing about being successful in any areas of your life, family, career, educational, professional, entrepreneurship. You have the ability to take control over how you choose to make your time work for you, because time is of the essence. Another thing about central point and pivoting, from a glossary standpoint, is something that oscillates. You have your fan going, blowing in the wind sometimes, right? It may not be air conditioning, but it's a fan. And you have the dynamics that you can press a button on many fans at this point. No matter what or how late or old the model is, you will probably find a fan that you can press a button that will oscillate that fan. That mechanism will turn and reverse and go from left to right and right back to the central point. When you remove the oscillating feature, meaning you just take your hand off it or press a button, what happens? Right, things may stop, but it comes back to a central point. So you want to find your central point in the fourth quarter and run with it as though you're going down right there, that yard line, as they talk about in reference to football and other sports. Maybe it's a buzzer beater in basketball. Maybe it is. Slam dunk, if you will. Slam dunk your career goals, your career development, your personal growth and development goals. You have to have a goal. In soccer, goal. Absolutely. If you have a question, make sure you send that to me. If you missed this today or you need to inbox me, that's fine. Inbox me via LinkedIn Messenger or Facebook Messenger, Instagram Messenger, Twitter, YouTube. Check out my channel. Again, you will hear me say something similar in previous events, audio and video. Time waits for no one. It's not going to be different. We're all different individuals. We have our goals. We have individual goals. We have goals collectively. If you're a team member on your job, whether you're in the traditional 9-to-5 or you're an entrepreneur. And for some of the entrepreneurs out there, my hats go off to you because you're in the fourth quarter, or a small business or a large, medium-sized business, whatever it is. Corporate's not waiting till the last minute to prepare for success. It's an all year long event. All year long event. And that's how you should think. Think heavily about your success. All year long. Not just for 2 minutes of a day, not just for 1 month. And some of you are just coming out the gate. You're just starting up. You're just starting up stuff in December. I've done it. I'm the no sugarcoating coach, Toye Johnson-VINCENT, no sugarcoating coach. Not only a speaker, but I'm a corporate trainer, individual trainer, coach, speaking. HR consultant. So I've been there. I know from the different areas that I have worked in. I understand how all of a sudden you have this fantastic idea and now it's fourth quarter and you're ready to go. But then you say, you know what? I don't think I'll have enough time to finish it. Well, I wouldn't worry so much about, doubting yourself, because what happens is, when you're doubting yourself, what is really happening there? You're stagnant. You can't move. You can't make a move. You can't help anyone else because you can't even help capital Y-O-U. That's not good. So the first thing was organized. Get unorganized. Let's move down the line. I also said in my notes, do you feel like you're scrambling in the fourth quarter? How many of you feel that or have felt that way in the past? You should never want to feel that way again. And I'll tell you why. Because when you feel as though you're scrambling, you're not really operating at your full potential. That's what is actually happening. You're all over the place. That's what scramble is. It's like scrambled eggs. Go to the grocery store and let them package your eggs. I say it to whomever is packaging my eggs at the grocery store. Please separate bag with my eggs. Simply because I don't want to have scrambled eggs in a grocery store or when I get to the parking lot to my vehicle. I would prefer that I purchase something and then cook scrambled eggs. If indeed that's what I want to use the eggs for, unless it's for something of a different nature, baking something or something like that. But that's just an analogy, right? But that's what it feels like. So no more of that. Get organized. It goes right back to the second stage that I talked about. What else did I talk about in my notes? Well, let's see. I said, are you feeling as though, and I'm going to read this to you. Are you feeling as though you're unorganized and, basically just always scrambling to make things work out for the best regarding your business, personal, career development goals? And, why would that be? Why? It doesn't make sense. You've had all year, but now you're getting down to the fourth quarter and you're just starting to get organized. Guess what? Guess what I'm going to tell you? Rein this in. Listen carefully. Some people say it doesn't matter when you start. But whatever it is, finish what you started. And if you cannot do that, from a coaching perspective, I will say to you, make the attempt to finish what you started. Maybe you're 3/4 way done. Maybe you're more than 50% done. Just do it. Do something that's going to impact your goals, that's going to get you closer to your goals for 2023. So that when you're gone through the holiday season and you're looking around at your family, you're at these events or parties, holiday parties, and they're coming whether you want them to come or not. And someone says to you, hey, how's that XYZ coming along? How's that event that you planned? How's the event planning process going on? Whatever it is. Maybe it's something personal like a wedding or something like that, a family event, a reunion of sorts. How is that coming? What will you say? It's fourth quarter. It's got to work your way, and you have to work your way upward, not going backwards. You will be able and should be able to pivot and say to whomever is asking you in a very wonderful way, I'm on it. I'm not fully there yet, but I'm intentionally trying to do and make this happen. That's how it should be. That's how you would want to feel as you are putting yourself on display. You're putting yourself and your knowledge and your information out there globally to the world. People are counting on you. Yes, they are. But the most important person that should be counting on you is you, yourself. If I'm saying it, it's me, myself, and I. And it's capital YOU. Because the fourth quarter is there for a reason. Whether it's fiscal year, calendar year, whatever calendar you want to use. It doesn't matter at this point. What matters is you have less than 90 days before December 31st, 2022. What are you going to do with it? I believe you're going to be even more successful than you already are. I certainly do. So these are a couple of tips. Like I said, you want to get organized, start breaking things down into mini goals or mini tasks. M-I-N-I. M-I-N-I. Mini goals or mini tasks. Secondly, you want to stop getting out of that thing where you're waiting to the last minute to get things done. Because what happens there, you're always scrambling. So again, you really do need to start utilizing your calendar. And if that's the calendar right on your computer or your smartphone, whatever it is, if it's even a dollar store calendar, purchase it and use it. Because at the end of the day, nobody's going to care but you. It's how you organize your time. There's that word again, organize, get better organized. And you basically take control or take back control of your time. The worst thing you can do is waste time. There's probably nothing else worse. There may be, but for today's purposes, let's just say wasting time is an issue, and it will be an issue for many of us, including myself, which I don't like to waste time. But I know I have. I can't ask or say something to you if I don't practice it myself. As a coach, we rely on time, setting up appointments, speaking engagements, including this audio event. I had to take the time to schedule it on purpose and in a time slot that it would work to my advantage, and hopefully that it worked to others. So again, if you've missed the audio event, I will have it for you in video format. And I want you to go ahead and comb over this video from the beginning so that you were able to pick up some of those tips that I provided to you. And also just acknowledge that you have a time management issue if indeed you do. But what I'm saying today, for all purposes, and the title of the audio event that was posted out on LinkedIn is, and I'm going to read it to you, there is still enough time to change and or pivot in 2022. And remember, we talked about pivoting. So my last tip, if for some reason that you feel you cannot really get a hold on, keeping organized, why are you setting goals and not really achieving them, meeting them, and or the best is to exceed a goal? I mean, I love those. If it's something like that, or you're unsure of what your next steps are and how you want to continue, you would love to continue to get better at all of these things, especially as it relates to either time management or just time in general with your families, your friends, organizations that you are part of, your volunteerism. And just generically think about how it relates in terms of a fourth quarter event or a game, if you will. I referenced football because they do use 4 quarters, right? But there are other types of sports that goes well beyond. So again, I just wanted to thank you. I know you're going to be successful because in my opinion, you already are. To learn more about me, thank you so much for listening. I'm Toye Johnson-VINCENT, your no sugarcoating coach. You can find me on all social media platforms. Again, inbox me if you're interested in having me speak to you as an individual to connect, or coaching, or your group. I'm available. Especially now, it's the holiday events. Make sure you inbox me on LinkedIn, Twitter, or Facebook, etc. Learn more about me and my stories of resilience at TJVempowersYou.com. TJVempowersYou.com. Remember one thing only as I end all of my broadcasts: success, success, is in your future. Bye for now.